everyone! It's so good to see all of you! Happy Friday and happy Art Day! Are you guys ready to make some art? I know I am! I can't wait! I've been looking forward to it all day. So, go get some art supplies. Whatever art supplies you have will be just fine. You can make art with anything, and everyone is an artist. So it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are, there is room for everybody here at Art Day with Mr. Paul. So go get some art supplies, get ready. I'm really excited because I ordered some new oil pastels, so that's what I'm going to use today. I always like getting new art supplies. It's like breaking in a brand new toy. It's a lot of fun for me. But you use anything you want, okay? I mean, seriously, if it's just a pencil and paper, that will be just fine. All right, let me move my sign out of the way and get situated here, and then we'll get started. Whoa, look at that. It's a blank piece of paper. Perfect. Well, it won't be a blank piece of paper for very long. I've got some big plans for you. But first, before I even get started on the drawing today, I really wanted to share with you a book. Sometimes, if you're new to watching these videos with us, sometimes I like to read a story first, and then we make artwork that's inspired by the story. And I have a very cool story to share with you today, so I hope that you guys will all enjoy it. It'll just take us a few minutes here at the beginning, and we'll read the story, and then we'll get started making some artwork, okay? All right, here we go. Today's story is called Kamala and Maya's Big Idea. Let me try and hold this so the spotlight doesn't shine on it. There you go. Kamala and Maya's Big Idea. And it was written by Meena Harris, and she is Vice President Kamala Harris's niece. And I thought it was a perfect week to share this story with you. It's based on a true story, also from Kamala and her sister Maya's childhood. So I think it's something that we can all be inspired by. And I thought that would be a really great thing for all of us this week. All right, are you ready? I'm going to try and hold it here. Let me get situated, get my microphone so you can hear me. Okay, you ready? I'm ready, I think. Wait, let me try this a little differently. There we go. Perfect. Okay. You know what should be out there? Kamala asked her sister Maya. Us? Said Maya. A slide, said Kamala. And a swing, Maya added. A playground, they shouted together. Kamala and Maya had an idea. It was a very good idea and a very big idea. They were going to need help. Wouldn't it be great if there was a playground in the courtyard? Maya said. That does sound nice, Mommy agreed. How can we make that happen? Kamala asked. Well, I suppose the first step would be to ask the landlord, the person who owns the building. So Kamala wrote a letter, and Maya drew a picture, and they went to see the landlord to discuss their idea. The landlord thought about it for less than a second. I don't think so, no. Now that was not the answer they wanted, but they weren't ready to give up. That night, the sisters tried to think of ways to turn a no into a yes. They asked the other kids in the building if they wanted a playground in the courtyard. Did they? Of course they did. And they had ideas too. Let's have a teeter-totter and a basketball hoop and flowers. So Kamala wrote a longer letter, and they went to see the landlord together. The letter says, Dear landlord, right now the courtyard of our building is empty and no one uses it. If there were swings, kids could fly high. If there was a sandbox, kids could build. If there was a slide, kids could go so far, so fast. Can you build it, please? The landlord thought about it for less than 5 seconds. A project this big is expensive. We don't have the money for that. Do your parents know you're here? This was not the answer they wanted. But Kamala was not ready to give up. If we ask our parents and do it all ourselves, can we fix up the courtyard? The landlord thought about that for a whole 10 seconds. Finally, he shrugged. If you can do it yourselves, sure. This wasn't exactly the answer they wanted, but it was a start. The kids all spoke to their parents about their ideas for the courtyard. They hung up posters and knocked on neighbors' doors, but they got the same answers from everyone. I'm sorry. Wow, that is a big job. Wish I could help. Which they knew meant no, no, no. But then Mr. Green stopped to talk. I work construction and I could maybe get some scrap lumber and some sand for a sandbox. Really? Kamala said. Yes, exclaimed Maya. Okay, I'll try. It wasn't a yes, but right now, maybe was the sweetest word they had ever heard. Maybe gives them hope. The kids all helped. Oops, I got ahead of myself. The next weekend, maybe turned into yes. The kids all helped measure, and Mr. Green cut the boards. Then they sanded and hammered and sanded some more. Then came the actual sand. They were all thanking Mr. Green when Miss Lopez started to talk. I work at a garage. Maybe they have an extra tire for a teeter-totter. Another maybe. In the weeks that followed, lots of I don't knows turned into maybes and then yeses. No one could do everything, but everyone could do something. Kamala and Maya wanted everyone to celebrate the new playground, so they made another big poster inviting their neighbors to a potluck party. There were hot dogs and hummus, spicy chicken and potato salad, strawberries and brownies, and lemonade. Mrs. Flores set up a sprinkler for the kids to run through. Mr. Green brought the music. Kamala admired the new playground, but she noticed there was still one thing missing. No one knew how to make a slide, but Miss Flores knew where they might buy one. I teach at Emerson Elementary and they are redoing their playground. Maybe we could buy the old slide. This was a different kind of maybe. How can we afford that maybe? But now everyone was trying to find a way to turn that maybe into a yes. These brownies are delicious. Maybe we could have a bake sale. We can all bring toys and books and have a sidewalk sale. No one could do everything, but everyone could contribute something. When the slide arrived at last, Maya and Kamala got the first ride. The landlord was impressed. I want to shake your hands, girls, he said. You did a good job. You all did a good job. Kamala and Maya had an idea. It was a very good idea and a very big idea. And with a lot of help, they make it happen. Hooray for Kamala and Maya! Hooray for the Purr sisters! What's next, Kamala? Kamala, looking up, said, I'm wondering what the view is like from the roof. The end. There's a picture of the real Kamala and Maya. And they really did make a playground. Isn't that cool? I love that book. I love the message of the story. I love the whole idea about not each person couldn't do everything, but everyone could do something. And that's what community is all about. So today I thought it would be fun, in the spirit of that story, if we all designed our own playground. Because I know a lot of us are probably a little tired of being stuck inside all the time, and we'd love to be able to go out and play on a playground. Sounds fun to me. So why don't we use our time together today to design our dream playground? And you can put anything you want in there. It doesn't have to be realistic. If you want to put a rocket that blasts off into the sky, if you want to put trees made out of lollipops, that is okay, because you know what? It's your playground. You can put anything on there you want. All right, I'm going to get my fancy new oil pastels ready. I'm so excited. If you joined us late, I'll show them off again. Look, I've got brand new oil pastels, which are just kind of like crayons. I really like drawing with them and coloring with them, though. And they even came with this fancy little gripper thing that you can put your pastel in so you don't have to get your fingers dirty. Isn't that fancy? I feel so fancy today. All right, I'm going to design a playground. And I'm just going to think up whatever I want to put in my playground. You think of whatever you want in yours. It can be totally different than mine. I don't want you to feel like you have to copy my playground. I want you to use your own imagination and put your own stuff in there. All right, I'm going to start with something simple, with a teeter-totter. I always like the teeter-totter. You go up and down, up and down. Don't worry if you don't know exactly how to draw something. Just think about the basic, simple shape. So when I think of a teeter-totter, and sometimes it even helps to close your eyes and picture it. When I picture a teeter-totter, I know there's got to be something in the middle that kind of holds it together. So I'm going to draw that first. And then there's the big. I'm going to have it going this way. So that's another kind of a rectangular shape. All right, there we go. Beautiful. It doesn't matter if it doesn't look exactly like what somebody else's teeter-totter or somebody else's playground might look like, because it's your playground. Do your own thing, just like Kamala and Maya did. All right, I'm going to put a little nail or something in there to hold that. That's looking good. And just to make it a little more comfy, I'm going to put some seats. There we go. And I think there's usually something like that to kind of help hold you in, or you can hold on to. Now I'm going to do one over on this side. I remember I was always a lot taller, and so I was a lot heavier than other kids my age, so it wasn't really very fun to teeter-totter with other kids my age, because I would always just sink down on one side, blah. But when I could do it with other people my size, it was fun. All right, so I've got my teeter-totter. Now I think I'm going to design some kind of a slide and kind of like a jungle gym kind of thing back here. I don't even really know. I'm just going to start making some shapes, and we'll see what happens. But I always like the ones where you kind of climb up and you had different choices of different directions you could go. So let me start by making, let's see here. I'm going to make it a little farther in the background, so it's going to be a little bit smaller than my teeter-totter. That doesn't mean it's actually smaller than it. It just means it's further away. Just like how, look how big my head is right now. And then when I back away, look how it gets smaller. So same thing in your drawing. If you want to put things in different points in space, think about, is it in the front, is it in the middle, or is it in the back? And then choose the size that fits that. All right, so here's the center of my slide jungle gym thing. I'm going to put a little roof on it. Okay, and now here's where you climb up and where you actually stand. And then I want to make kind of one of those twisty kinds of ladders. Have you ever seen those on a slide or a jungle gym where you can step up on each one of those little curved parts, or you can climb around on it? I like that kind of shape. It's fun to draw, so that's what I'm going to do. And then, so once you climb up and you get in there, maybe you can choose to come over this way if you want to go down the slide. I'll put the slide over here. Let it kind of come down. I'm just making this up, so you can draw any kind of shapes you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be realistic. Just have fun with it. This is your time to be creative. All right. All right, there's my slide. Here's the part where you climb up. I'll put a little railing there. Okay, and now I want to give you some options. Maybe you want to go over this way. Put another one over here. And maybe this side is a little different. Maybe it has one of those slides that actually completely wraps around you so that when you're inside it, it's kind of like you're in a big twisty tube. Those are always fun. So I'm going to draw one of those now. Then it comes out in a little circle like that. This makes me want to go play on a playground. Well, you know what's cool is while I'm drawing it, I actually feel like I'm there in a way. It's neat because even though we're stuck inside a lot right now, whenever you do something that you get to use your imagination, in a way, it's kind of like you get to go into that world. You get to leave, being stuck inside in your room, and you get to go be in this fun, creative place where anything is possible. All right, I'm going to draw the edge of the playground back here with my horizon line. That's the line where the ground touches the sky. And I like playgrounds that have a lot of trees around them, so I'm going to just put a whole bunch of trees back here. See, there's no rules. You can put anything you want in your playground. Make it as big, as interesting as you'd like. Okay, I might put a little bench back here so parents can come and watch, or if you need to take a little break, you can go sit down and chill. I don't think I would be doing much of that. I'd be too busy wanting to play myself. But you might want to take a break sometime or go have a snack, whatever you want. Okay, so I've got my slide, my teeter-totter. Now I want to draw one of those little, it's kind of like on a spring. You sit on a little seat and you can bounce around. Have you ever seen those? Maybe you've played on one of those before. I'm going to make mine kind of like a little bike. So there's the kind of the handle. Here's the front tire. See how everything I'm drawing right now, when you really break it down, it's just simple shapes. That's all it is. You can draw anything in the world if you don't focus on worrying about what it is, and if you just think about shapes. Everything is made up of shapes. Even me, I'm shapes. My head is like an oval. Look at my shirt. The little watermelons on my shirt are kind of like triangles. If you look at the world around you, every single thing that you see, you could break it down into a shape. And you know what? You can draw shapes. It might be hard to think about designing a whole playground, but if you just think about shapes, we can all draw triangles, we can all draw rectangles, we can all draw circles and squares, and that's all it is. If you can draw those things, you can draw anything. All right, so now I'm going to draw the little bouncy, springy thing. I'm going to make it extra tall so you can really bounce around on this if you want to. Put it on a little platform down here. There you go. That looks fun. I'd like to ride that. Okay. Maybe I'll put a little beach ball just laying here. You never know, you might want to play a little ball. There we go. Didn't start out looking so round, I had to fix that. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, and you know what? You can always fix it. There we go. Okay. Now I want to do a sandbox because that was always my favorite. I like making things and building things, making sand castles, stuff like that. So I'm going to make a really big sandbox right here in the front, which would be the foreground. So whenever something's really close to you, like my hand is right now, that's the foreground. Whenever things are sort of in the middle, that's the middle ground. And when things are really far away, so they're really small, that's the background. Okay? And when you put all three of those things into a picture, it can make it feel very realistic. It can make it feel like you could just walk right in there and start playing, which is exactly what I want you to feel when you look at this drawing. Okay, got my sandbox. Now I'm going to draw a big old pile of sand in there and some kind of little rake. Maybe a bucket. All right, there's our sandbox. And do we need anything else? I don't know. I think that's looking pretty good. That's a pretty good playground. Now, I don't think I'll have time to color everything, but I am going to color some of it. Get it started anyhow. Let me start with the slide. I'm going to color that little triangle up there, make it red. I think I'll make the slide red. It's my playground, so I can make it as colorful as I want. I'll do one section of this slide red also. And while I've got my red, I'm going to go ahead and look around at the other parts of my picture and see if there's any place else where I want to use some red too. So I think I'll do some red right on these seats. I like red. It's one of my favorite colors. Of course, honestly, I'll probably say that about every color I pick up because I love every color so much. I'm so into color. All right, let me make this red too. And I'll make one of the stripes on my beach ball red. And this thing, the handlebar on my little bouncy bike. Do a little border on this. A little border on this side. And our bucket. It's looking good already, just to get a little bit of color in there, huh? All right, what's next? How about blue? I'm going to start with the primary colors. Do you guys know what the primary colors are? It's red, blue, and yellow. And if you have those three colors, you can mix any other color that there is. So those are very special colors. And those might be the only colors I get to today because I see we are just about out of time. Why does this always go by so quick? I wish I could just hang out with you guys for hours and hours and hours. Well, we can go a little over. I think it'll be okay. All right. Color my sandbox. And I think I'll use that same blue. Oops, do a little better job there. Don't want to rush it. It's always okay to take your time when it comes to art. You don't want to rush it. You can, if you don't finish it, you can always go back and work on it more later. You might even have some new ideas that you get if you put it aside and then come back to it. Think of other things that you want to add into your playground. Now, we love it when you share your artwork with us. So if you wouldn't mind, once you do finish it, take a picture of it and post it for us so we can see. It's always so much fun to get to see all of your creativity. You can post it and tag Palenke Arts. You could post it as a comment right on this video. That would be an easy way to do it. But share your work with us. It's so fun for us to see it and for everybody else to get to see what you do. And I know that we have people from all over who watch these videos, and it's kind of a neat way for us to get to know who all is out there watching it, because we've been doing these videos for a while now. This is our 40th Art with Mr. Paul video. Can you believe that? We've done 40 of these. So it's really neat for me just to get to see who's out there and what all you are making. I get really inspired by seeing your artwork. And just know that there are a lot more of these videos. So if you enjoy this and you want to have some more, maybe you missed some of the older ones, you can always watch all of the Art with Mr. Paul videos on the Palenke Arts Facebook page. So whenever you're feeling a little bored, need something to do to pass the time, just go visit Palenke Arts on Facebook, and you've got 40 art classes right there ready for you. And also not just mine, but there are a lot of other really great videos on there too, where you can learn about dancing and different styles of music, all kinds of creative stuff. So Palenke Arts is a wonderful group in our community. I'm really, really grateful that I get to be a part of it and that I get to hang out with you guys every week. You inspire me so much, and it's just really wonderful to get to spend this time making art and being creative with so many people. It's really special. It's something that I really, it means a lot to me to get to see you guys and know that you're all out there making art along with me every week. All right. I think this is looking good. I'm just going to focus on coloring in the stuff. I'm not going to be able to color in the background too. Have to save that part for later. Let's see. Gotta color my beach ball though. Missed the blue. I'm just really stalling. I don't want to be done. I just want to keep drawing with you guys. All right, last thing, I think. Got to do my little sand rake thingy. Is that a rake? Is that what you'd call that? I don't know. Kind of. Use it to drag through the sand. Yeah, it's a rake. Guess it's been a little while since I've been in a sandbox. All right, there's my playground. I want to go play there right now. I don't know about you. Did you have fun making your playground today? I hope you enjoyed the book. If you want to be able to go get it from the library or look at it again or go buy a copy, it's Kamala and Maya's Big Idea by Meena Harris. And so thank you, Meena, for sharing that awesome story with us. It's a perfect week to read about the Vice President of the United States when she was your age. She was already doing things to make change in her community. And you know what? You can do that too. If there's something that you think is missing or that you want to see happen, maybe you are the one to get it started. And don't be afraid to reach out and ask other people for help. And just like we learned in the book, just because one person might say no, it doesn't mean that's the final answer. You might need to get some other people on board or find another way to make your dream come true, but it's always worth fighting for. All right, now the last thing I'm going to do is sign my name onto my artwork, and that means it is a finished masterpiece. And I know that you all are busy out there making masterpieces of your own, so if you want to, when you finish, you can sign your name too. I always like to sign my artwork at the bottom, usually in one of the corners, so I'm going to write Mr. Paul. Ta-da! That's it. That's all for today, guys. I had so much fun hanging out with all of you. Thank you for making art with me every week. I just love it. I look forward to it so much. I can't wait to come back and make more art with you again next time. All right? Until then, you guys have so much fun drawing, being creative, and I'll see you next Friday for another art day with Mr. Paul. Bye, everybody.